it show, it stays on because of you fools. We've been dancing with the devil way too long. I know it's gone, but get ready to pay your dues. Oh God, come back home. This crazy world is filled with lies and abusers. We need you now before we're too far gone. I hope one day they finally see the truth. God, we need you now.
I know the truth is hard to swallow, just digest it. Suspected something's going on. Chosen, just neglected. Deflected by some breaking news. How we just accepted. Expected just to fall in line and follow their perspective. Don't question their objectives, but I got a lot of questions. How these kids molested, but nobody's been arrested. Read it in the Testament. These children are protected. So I'm fighting all these terrorists, both foreign and domestic.
Hey folks, welcome to Truth Talk with Steve. Today I've got a lady that I'm very excited to have on that's going to talk to us about some technology through some plasma bed technology. And we're going to learn about the different healing modalities that she's involved with and kind of learn more about, what has been hidden from us and how we can really improve our health. And so I want to welcome to the show today, Marie. How you doing, Marie?
I'm doing good. Thank you for having me on.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Thanks for being here. So give us a little backstory on, how you got involved, where this technology came from, who came up with it, and, where you're at today and what you're doing to really make an impact on, the health and lives of so many people.
Yeah, I'd be happy to. So I actually waited 31 years to retire. I owned a business, and from the moment I opened it, I wanted to get to a place where I could retire and pursue my music instead. And that didn't happen. I am pursuing my music, but at a slower pace. So I retired in August of 2021. And in early June of 2022, I saw Jason Shirka's video with Dr. Sandra Rose Michael about the EE system. And I just felt this tug, God telling me to come out of retirement and open up an EE system center. So I did a little bit of kicking and screaming, but I did, and I'm grateful that I did. And I opened up my center. September 19th of 2022. So almost a year ago, I opened up, and I was finding that our members with serious cancer were not making enough of progress. And that was weighing heavy on me, because we got so attached to everybody that was coming in.
Imagine,
and we have our members with cancer sleep there every Wednesday night as a group.
Wow.
And, unfortunately, a few of them had passed. And at least one of them came in they had only given her a few weeks to live.
Jeez.
I'm grateful that we were able to touch their lives before they passed.
Oh, yeah.
But it was difficult. It was difficult because we got attached to them. And so, that was weighing heavy on me. And I also was having a problem with my own hair loss. And so I called this random company, USA MedBed, and to order a wand for my hair loss. And I was sharing with him, we talked for about an hour and 15 minutes, and I was sharing with him how our members with cancer, I have an EE system center, but it's not helping our members with cancer enough. And he said, well, you need this plasma med bed. And he spent time talking to me about it. And I knew immediately, my heart told me to do this. Again, I felt that I could have called 50 different people to get this wand. And I chose the one person who sells the plasma med bed. We don't believe in coincidences. We believe that God leads us, right? So I automatically ordered it. The very next morning, I wired the money into him. And then I started making calls to the handful of centers they have in the United States with this technology. And I said, listen, I'm buying this with my members with cancer in mind. So can you tell me, have you seen results? with, with this illness. And sure enough, there was a handful of stories that I got. There was a couple of people that didn't see any members with cancer, but there is one man that throughout the course of a year helped a man heal from pancreatic cancer.
Wow. And that's usually, I mean,
That's
pancreatic
huge.
takes 4
Nobody
years.
survives that.
Terminal, yeah.
In fact, one of the men who passed away that was coming to our center had pancreatic cancer.
Oh, wow.
And then there was another woman who shared with me that she had a man with a rare brain cancer, and he was making slow progress, but he refused to change his diet, but he was making progress. And then after he changed his diet, his progress like skyrocketed. And he also went into what they call remission, but he's also cancer-free, if you will.
Wow.
And then there was a man who actually bought the technology for himself. He had been diagnosed twice. He'd gone through radiation and chemotherapy twice. It came back a third time. They wanted to do it again. Now, I don't know if your audience knows this, but I've heard from nurses that right on the bottle, right on the package for the chemotherapy, it says, caution, this could cause cancer. Did you know that, Steve?
I've heard that just recently, actually.
So,
Yeah.
so this man said, well, I'm not doing it a third time. And at the time I talked to him, he was 18 months cancer-free. And then there was another man who bought it. He had a center, and his sister came to him for 2 weeks, 5 times a year, because she lived in another state. She went on it every day, 2 to 3 weeks, 5 times a year, and she was cured of breast cancer.
Wow.
So now I'm going to add a caveat here. It is not the technology that is healing the person.
Yep.
It is the body that's healing the body. And because we do have God DNA in us, our bodies do have the capabilities of healing. Our brains get in the way. Our brains and our diets and our lifestyle and our relationships, if they're not emotionally healthy and loving, they get in the way of our bodies being able to heal. The nice thing about both of these technologies, the EE system and the plasma med bed, is they raise your vibrational frequency. We're energy.
Yep.
And right now we're living in a 3D world with a low frequency. But when we get into these technologies, it's a higher frequency. So it's a 5D is my understanding. It's at least a 5D energy. So that 5D energy frequency is feeding the cells of our 3D bodies that have been damaged. And so it has the food and the tools and the higher energy and frequency it needs to heal itself. So I just want to be clear. In fact, the inventor, who I've gotten to know fairly well, says that this is really being used for experimental use. Wow. Even though we're seeing all these results, right? We don't want to discount that. Experimental use, okay, fine. But people are still finding that their bodies are starting to heal from it. So those were the stories that I had. And if people want to go to our website, I have a bunch of videos and a nice write-up on the technology. And there's one video in particular that just blew me away. It's rather long. It's a little over an hour. It's a little scientific, but they just kept mentioning that it was almost invented for people with cancer in mind.
Wow.
The cancer cells cannot live in this frequency. Now, that doesn't mean that you go once a week and you're gonna, your body's gonna heal itself of cancer. You're living in this other negative energy, lower frequency, most of your life. So people need to be committed. They need to understand they need to be committed. And that's where we've seen
and that's so much like anything though. If you want to, excuse my language, half-ass something, you're going to get half-ass results, right? I mean, so you have to commit and do what's required. It doesn't matter if it's, your health on your own, your diet on your own, your business, whatever. You've got to be committed and do it. So many people think there's a magic pill for so many things, for anything, and there's no such thing. Yes, there's things that can definitely help you like this, but yeah, it's going to take some time. And so people need to understand that.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing that. It's going to take some time. It's going to take a commitment. People who are committed to going to the gym, they don't just go once a week.
Right.
Or like I used to be where, I had the membership, but I never went, or I went for a couple of months, very committed, but now I just pay a trainer, Steve.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
it's the way I'm going to work out. I don't like working out,
Yep,
but
me neither.
I'm committed. I'm committed to going to the trainer a few times a week. So yeah, I'm glad that you brought that up. Now, I think we can probably, no, I want to say one other thing. This is not for cancer specifically.
Right.
It is an energy. It is quantum energy. Quantum energy feeds your body and your body heals itself of anything. So even though I've been focusing on the C word, it's good for everything. And we've seen results from everything. I can tell you that I've been taking my mom twice a week. She committed to like 3 months, twice a week is a very long day for her because she lives an hour from the center. And so she had bursitis in her hip. She had arthritis in her back that was hurting her. And she has, I'm going to say she's recovering from wet macular degeneration, which affects the eyesight. So they stopped the bleeding from the macular degeneration, but she still had blurriness. And after about 8 visits, her vision got 30% better. And after like another 8, we focused on just her eyes. Then she wanted to focus on her hip because she was having trouble walking. She was just in too much pain. And after about 8 visits with the plasma med bed being focused on her back and her hip, my mother was practically like, she's walking fine. She's practically pain-free. I'm not going to say she's 100% pain-free, but she's practically pain-free. And she was dealing with that pain for a long time. And she told me last week, I said, Mom, are you still doing okay? Well, she doesn't want to come anymore because she's 94 years old and it's a big day for her. But it doesn't matter because I'm getting the plasma med bed for my house. So I'm going to bring her to my house, which is not as far. I said, Mom, if you start going backwards, you're coming to my house. So I have 24 units of the EE system in my family room, and I'm putting the plasma med bed in my living room for my mother and my family members.
That's incredible. Wow. Yeah. And wow, it's right in your home. You've got that many EE systems.
Yeah.
Wow,
yeah.
awesome.
I had 16 in my bedroom, and then I added 8 and brought them downstairs.
Did you do that kind of more of a preventative, or did you have some, some issues that you were hoping would improve?
The thing about me is my entire life, I've been on a journey of healing emotionally, spiritually, mentally. Like I think God just put me on earth to do this. And I've come so far, even since a child, and, even as a child, I was Catholic and I used to read the books on the saints and the angels. And so I was like, even then, I was trying to improve myself. But, so, I had pretty decent chronic fatigue before I had the technology. And I'm working 3 businesses right now.
Yeah, you're just.
So I went from like not being able to do a lot and being tired all the time to working 3 businesses and not knowing how to stop. I don't know how to stop. So it definitely took care of that. I still have some, I'll be honest, like I have a thyroid issue for 31 years. I still have a thyroid issue. However, I do think it's making improvement because I seem to need a little bit less of thyroid medication.
Wow.
So other stories before we get to the video testimonies. We had a woman who dropped a shower head on her foot. She was in incredible pain. The foot was swollen. We put a half hour her on the plasma med bed directed on her foot. She walked out without pain. We had a woman who was using the EE system for months. Every Wednesday night, she had a cancerous tumor and got very attached to, we're very attached to our members that are battling cancer. And she was making progress, but we put her on the plasma med bed about 12 times. And she showed us an image from the doctor that her tumor had shrunk in half. 50% here, 60% there, 40% there. And then we had another man who's been sleeping at the center since December. Every Wednesday night, he used to spend 24 hours there. for the first few months. And his tumor shrunk, but we can't necessarily attribute that to the plasma med bed. That was his commitment of 6.5 months of sleeping there every Wednesday night. And for 3 months, staying there 24 hours. He would stay all day Thursday also. So he made the commitment, you know. So with that, I mean, I have a bunch more, but it's not necessary to go into more testimonies, I don't think. We have one video, if you could pull that up, it will show the power of this technology. One thing I did forget to say, which you'll hear on the video, this was first invented by Nikola Tesla and Antoine Priori. So if your audience knows Nikola Tesla, we know that he created, you know, free energy and healing technologies.
Right.
So, you know, the powers that be did him in. So this is showing the power of it. Hopefully the volume will be sufficient enough.
Okay, here we go.
Course creators, say goodbye to intimidating software and eliminate multiple subscriptions and say hello to Backbone. Backbone helps course creators thrive with their all-in-one, easy-to-use sales and marketing platform. Backbone gives you all your automation in one place to capture, nurture, and turn more leads into customers. With Backbone, you get unlimited courses, membership sites, funnels, landing pages, surveys, and forms with our easy-to-use drag-and-drop features. That's not all. Backbone provides a full CRM and pipeline management, two-way SMS, workflow automations, call tracking, full analytics, built-in AI, 24/7 support, and so much more. Stop paying for multiple tools and put more money in your pocket with Backbone. Just go to backbonelms.io now to get your free 14-day trial. Backbone supports letthemlive.org to help defend the defenseless by donating 5% of each subscription every month. Jump over to backbonelms.io now to start your free trial today.
My name is Marie Scoderi. I'm here at the Boundless Love and Light Wellness Center in Hillsborough, New Jersey. We opened up as an EE System Center in September of 2022. We recently, probably about 2.5 weeks ago, we brought in the 𝐸Fi machine. This 𝐸Fi technology, the inventors are Dan Winter and Paul Harris. This technology is using phase conjugation, plasma light, noble gases. There's noble gases inside these bulbs here. And also the generator underneath, there are Nikola Tesla coils. So the story about how I got this dead light bulb, this is a dead light bulb. We got this about 2.5 weeks ago, the technology. The same day the elevator lights went out, they died. So on a Sunday, my partners and I came in, we put the technology, we set it up. I then went to the recycling dumpster, picked this dead light bulb out of the recycling dumpster. No, I did not climb in it. I managed to get it out with a stick. And I'm about to show you the power of this technology. There's an energy field being created in between these two lights. So I'm about to show you the power of this 𝐸Fi technology. It's been renamed Plasma Med Bed, but it's the same technology, 𝐸Fi/Plasma Med Bed. That's amazing.
That's unreal.
When I showed a video of this lighting up to my 15-year-old great nephew, he was like, his jaw just completely dropped. He was so excited, as are we. So this is the power of the energy field that our members are laying. And, you know, for anybody who's interested in purchasing this technology, this is the energy that you're offering to your members. That high frequency energy can then communicate with the cells of your body, feed the cells of your body, and help your body, with its own innate knowledge, start to heal. So we're incredibly excited to have this technology with us. I just demonstrated what happens when we come out of this field. So obviously we want our members laying right in the field of this phase conjugation plasma light technology. I hope that excited everybody, and thank you for your time.
That's unreal. Yeah. One thing if it was a bull, but I mean, that was a dead bull.
Well, and you know, no accident. I said that the same day the elevator lights went out, but it might have been the day before. It was within a day or two. And I don't think it was an accident. that the elevator lights went out, because I knew that the technology would light up a dead light bulb. So it just wasn't an accident. Both of the lights in the elevator went out, just the day or so around that time. I mentioned in the video that, excuse me, it is for purchase. So Mel Carmine and myself and Sean, we've all partnered together with the inventor to help get the knowledge of this technology out to the world. This is using some similar technology to the EE system, but it's a broader spectrum. So because of that, I like to say it's a higher quality of scalar wave energy. Phase conjugation is, excuse me, another name for scalar energy. So, and it's also obviously using, as I said, the plasma light and the noble gases. So if you go to the website, which is www.plasmamedbed.com, for people who are interested in purchasing it, it is with Steve's coupon, which we said is TTWS, the coupon TTWS, or even if you just mention Steve, if you do reach out to us, let us know that you saw it on Steve Cloward, and there'll be a coupon. The cost will be $28,888 plus shipping. There you go. That's the website. There's a form you can fill out, and then either myself or Sean will get back to you if you're interested in purchasing it for an existing center or even for your own home. Some people can afford the, just under the $30,000, for their home, especially if someone they love is very sick. And a lot of these are in private homes right now. So again, our mission is to get the information about this technology out to the world, because we believe the new way of healing is going to be energy healing. The pharmaceuticals, I'm not going to say they're all 100% bad, but we know that there's poison in some of them. And we know that they're just treating a symptom. They're not treating the cause. And these technologies are treating the cause. In fact, Dan Winter, who is the one of the inventors, he talks about something called negentropy. And it's basically like time travel, but not time travel in the sense of you're going back 20 years in time, or your body's going to go back 20 years, but it helps the cells of your body to revert back to their original health.
Wow.
So in that way, there is this time reversal, and, and maybe another time we can get Dan on the podcast as well, because he can give you more of the science behind it than I can. I can give you the testimonies and the power of this through testimonies. So if you're comfortable, we can pull up either Patrice's or Jerry's testimony, Steve.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
How long have they had the technology?
It's been out about 7 years. There's centers here and there in some other countries, and there's a handful of centers in the United States. Mel Carmine is opening up an EE system center in Melbourne, Florida. He's actually opening up in like less than a week, on the 8th of August. He will have this technology by the end of August. I have so he's going to have the EE system and the plasma med bed. I have the EE system and the plasma med bed. There's one center in Alabama. We are the only people that have both technologies. And I'll tell you why that's important. We don't put anybody on the plasma med bed without them first being in the EE system, because as the inventor has told us, the higher your frequency is, the more relaxed the state of mind and body you are in when you get on this technology, plasma med bed, the better results you're going to get. So we, people come in, their mind is racing, or they've got work on their mind or whatever, or, they're worried about their health. We ask them to spend, like most people do, 2 hours in the EE system, and then they do the plasma med bed. And we're finding that they got better results. Now, this woman that you're about to hear from, I will tell you that she I was there when one of my staff were talking to her on the phone, and he couldn't understand her. She was talking so fast. Her anxiety was so high. And in this video, she's having trouble talking, but it's because she's so choked up at the results that she's gotten. She's battling cancer. So we're going to show you a test. My partners brought in something called the BioWell. The BioWell can measure a person's energy field as well as their organs and their chakra balances. And so we took a test when she first came, but then we took a test right before she went on the plasma med bed and after the plasma med bed. So the results that she got that you're going to see are after she's been in the EE system. She was doing better because she was in the EE system. And I can explain that as we go on through this, but go ahead, you can play that. And you may need to enlarge it when we get to the
Yeah, so I'm from Springfield, Massachusetts, and I'm here. Healing journey.
Oh.
I see a video about this, about what I'm going through, and I wanted to try something different. So I came up to Boundless Love and Light Healing Center. I came directly from the hospital over here to seek healing. And I wanted to know what pain level and what they can do for me, and how it will help me heal my body and see where the pain was and what levels it was on. I'm gonna go 10 easy. And I didn't take any kind of medication. I haven't had any kind of pain in weeks. So I truly want to know what my pain level was before I came here. Before that, I had a lot of, like, there was no blood at all in my arms, and it was feeling like a pincushion. And I spent 14 or 16 hours here overnight. I know it's whatever I was supposed to feel. I don't know what it was, but it was something that I never experienced before. That's all I know. What's going on, I just never experienced before. And I just
she had
tried to soak as much of it up. Body would allow me to in the time that I had. Amazing thing so far is,
What was that?
if you could pause it back to where you saw that test result. She had a spiritual experience. Okay, yeah, we can pause it here. So I don't know what her joules were when she first came in before sleeping in the center. This woman came and slept in the center, and then in the morning we took a scan before she went on the plasma med bed and after she went on the plasma med bed. The 45 joules is not a terrible joules, but she was in the EE system for 14 to 16 hours. She slept there on a Saturday night. People can come as early as 3:30 when they come for a Saturday night. She's committed to coming every Saturday night for a while. She's battling cancer. And so her joules, it's unheard of. My partners have done this for a lot of our members and for people outside of our healing center as well. And they said they've never seen such a big improvement. And that was from 1 hour on the plasma med bed. It went from 45 to 59, I think it says, or 58. Yeah. So yeah, so if you want to go ahead and pause, play that.
But to me, the most amazing thing so far is yesterday when I came here, how my arms, they were just like 10 cushions, and there was nothing there no matter what I did. And you could just shake my arms, and it was like there was no life in them. Now there's no pain in my arm. It's almost normal. There's no pain in my arm at all. And that just feels so good. I have no more to say.
I know. I've seen it like 4 times and I cry every time. Beautiful soul, beautiful soul. She's going through so much, and I just
Working
pray
good.
that, yeah, I just pray that she, you know, she comes out of this cancer free.
How long ago was that?
That was just a few weeks ago.
Jeez.
It was just a few weeks ago. She heard about it from one of my podcasts. So I think it was the Saturday before last, or it was either 2 or 3 Saturdays ago. And again, like she's come back. This is Jerry. Now, Jerry had very severe prostate cancer. He is a friend of Mel Carmine's. I failed to say Mel Carmine's website in Melbourne, Florida is Staying Alive with 2 I's, stayingalive.com. He's opening August 8th. I did say that. This gentleman, Jerry, is a good friend of Mel Carmine. I'm a good friend of Mel Carmine. The man couldn't afford, you know, what he would have had to pay, you know, where he was. So we let him come to our center, and he stayed there. He was with us for 9 days. Now he says 7 days, but he was with us for 9 days. One of those days he was in the hotel. He was basically there for 24 hours for like 8 days. Wow. The before video that you're about to see right now with him talking, he had already slept there for one night. So when he first came in, he was like, he had less energy than this. So he couldn't hear us. He was having difficulty hearing. His cognition was very poor. His mood was very low. His energy level was very low. He walked very slow. We want to extend to people, like, especially if you're coming from out of state, we're offering these retreat-like settings for you. Now, Jerry was our first person, and we did the 24 hours. We can't continue to do that because basically his suitcases were in because he couldn't afford a hotel room. So his suitcases were in our EE system in the corner of the room. I let him come to my house a few times to shower, but he was in the 24 units at my house. But basically he was there for 8 days. For people that are dealing with really serious illness like cancer, or really serious or very chronic illness, you know, we're finding that these retreats are just doing miracles for people. So again, it comes down to that commitment. Yeah. So go ahead, you can play this if you would.
Hi, my name is Jerry. I live in Miami, Florida. And I came to the healing center for many problems that I have. I got here having maybe 2 or 3 sleepless nights prior to coming here. I mean, 8 hours of just laying in bed and not sleeping. But I did get probably more time sleeping last night than I did for many nights. And I woke up feeling good, relaxed. So that was a good sign. I've been here for the last 7 days. And the difference between when I got here and today is remarkable. I feel more energized. I feel like I'm accomplishing a lot on the recovery. And not only that, but seeing the results that we're doing would show.
Okay, so now the top is before, it was like probably the next morning after sleeping there. So as you can see, if you can read this, on the left side of his body in the upper picture, this is a scan of the left side of his body, all the organs. The rectum prostate is to the very left where the arrow is, and it is in the dark yellow. Yes, you got it. And then on the other side is the serum prostate. Again, it's very close to the dark yellow. If you go over to the other side of his body, the rectum prostate is in the dark yellow. And if the top part of it is, one is his cardiovascular system, which is in the dark yellow, and the other one is his blind gut. Okay. So now we're going down to the lower, excuse my dog, I'm so sorry.
Oh, no problem.
Going down to the lower.
Wow.
He went all the way in the green. Tree quiet. Good girl. Good girl, quiet. Okay, that works. Now she's got the treat on the floor. Then on the other side, the serum prostate, again, it's in the green. didn't work. And then again, on the other side of the body, and even improvement in the cardiovascular and the blind gut. So this man has made amazing improvement. This is after 8 solid days in the EE system.
Wow.
And then we also have his blood work that's coming up. If you could pause it when we get to the blood work.
Okay.
Huge improvement. Gives me great hope.
Okay, so if you could pause it here. If the audience can read it, it's pretty readable below. The day before, 2 weeks before he came in, he had his blood work done. And his PSA, which measures your prostate cancer levels, his PSA was 40.15.
Wow.
After 8 days, it went all the way down to 14.9.
That's a huge improvement.
Now, he had to leave. He had to get back home. But the good news is Mel is opening up in a few days, and Jerry is moving to Melbourne, Florida, to that now stay constantly in Mel's center so he can battle this. He was told about his cancer many years ago, but he wouldn't do conventional treatment. So it got worse and worse. That's why it went up so high, you know. But
yeah.
But he doesn't want to do conventional treatment, so he's going to go stay at Mel's now, at the Staying Alive Healing Center in Melbourne, as I said. So go ahead, you can finish playing this. He was so much happier when he left. His energy was so much better. He was hearing better. We didn't have to keep talking loud and repeating ourselves. His cognition was so much better. So he made improvement in everything.
Jeez, I mean, incredible. It's just totally incredible, man.
And again, that's because he made the commitment. Like, sorry, I just have to keep reiterating that to people, because I think we've seen too many people come in and expecting results. I mean, we've seen miracles with both of these technologies.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
They were, except for one man with the EE system, they were all after spending a committed time there. We had one man with the EE system when we first opened, came from Canada, was paralyzed for 36 years from a car accident. Beautiful, beautiful man. He wanted to open up a center in Canada. I hope he did. He texted me like a day after he got home, and he told me that he was having pain in his legs. And I thought, oh my gosh, what happened? You know, the EE system, he was feeling things in his legs for the first time in 36 years.
Wow.
And the psychic told his friend, your friend nerve cells are regenerating. So he came again, he slept there the next time. And again, he was feeling things in his legs the next time he came. And I'm hoping and praying, you know, he's using a center in Canada at least. You know, I need to reach out to him and see how he's doing. But, you know, he is another one who just, you know, we fell in love with Daryl. Came a couple of times, all the way from Canada. He drove 6 hours from Canada.
Jeez. I mean, what better thing can you do than, you know, change someone's life? I mean, and save their lives in so many cases, you know, I mean, it's incredible. And, you know, I've always believed that, you know, God's given us the ability to cure ourselves. But like you said early on, you know, there's so much we've got in our minds. I mean, I'm living proof. It's so hard for me to shut it down, even just to meditate, you know. But, you know, for anyone that knows the story, if you don't, you ought to look it up, you know, on Dr. Joe Dispenza. I mean, what that guy did with his, you know, after getting paralyzed, getting hit when he was in a triathlon, you know, and he was a chiropractor, and I think it was age 24 when that happened. And all the doctors, you know, told him they had to put rods down his spine, and you know, he's going to be in like a body cast for, you know, I think it was like 6 months. He wouldn't do it, you know, after having 3 different opinions, and he literally just laid for 3 weeks. And, you know, he knew the body well enough that you know, the way he tells it is he had to be able to go through the process and visualize and see the body heal itself without any interruption. and the guy was back to normal like in a couple of months.
I didn't know that.
It's an incredible story. Yeah, Dr. Joe
That is
Dispenza.
an incredible story. The power of our spirit, the power of our God self, Steve.
Yes, we've got it in. I mean, it's in our DNA, like you said. But this technology and energy is such a huge thing because it's
It's a helping hand.
Exactly. It's so far and few between that can do what Dr. Dispenza did. But once again, this is something that is such a massive help, and like you said, I think people have to not only be committed, but you have to go in with intention too, and I think that's a big thing. I mentioned I took my in-laws, not to pick on them because they didn't know and understand it. I'd sent them a video and they hadn't watched it, but and they're, my father-in-law is 91, my mother-in-law is 87, I believe. And so I took them and I need to spend time with them. I think this video and the plasma bed is going to be huge. So I'm going to definitely go up there and sit there with them and have them watch this podcast, in fact, because once you understand, because for someone that has no knowledge of any of this stuff that we're talking about, and frankly, all the hidden stuff about the medical and all that think it's just conspiracy or aren't even aware. And then to throw this at them, it's like, it makes no sense, but it takes a little bit of education and then, you can make a difference. It's just, you can't do anything like this anywhere else. So this is just such an incredible thing that you're doing. So I'm, appreciate you being here, and I'm excited to
very rewarding.
More about it. Yeah, incredible. Geez.
I went there. I'm not usually there in the evening, but sometime in June, one Wednesday night in June, I went there because we had a member who was battling cancer, and he had been coming to us for months, and I got, very close to him. Again, we fall in love with these people, and he wasn't able to come for a long time because he had to work 2 jobs. Now, I was not charging him. For people that are dealing with serious cancer, I'll just say this, for people that are dealing with serious cancer, I feel like the medical establishment has robbed them financially and physically, and I don't have the heart to then take money from them. So, people that are battling with breast cancer, prostate cancer, those are more curable, but people are dealing with more serious cancers, stage 4 cancer. So our members with cancer sleep there on Wednesday nights, and I hadn't seen Robert in a while, and I really was looking forward to seeing him. I wanted to see him. He was coming back. He got caught up with his bills, and he was looking forward to coming back. He's sleeping there again on Wednesday nights, and he's using the plasma med bed. And we have a donation box in our healing center for people that are to use the plasma med bed if people can't afford it. So basically, that night, we had 3 video testimonies. Well, we had 4 video testimonies. We had Mel Carmen's father is coming every Wednesday night from February to June with this man, George, and George's son. Well, the difference between Mel's father before and after, because I had met him the first time he came in, and I'd seen him again, and I didn't even recognize him. His energy was so much better. He was pain-free. His mood was happy. I was like, oh, such a pleasure, such a pleasure. And then
dad's, but I've seen his mom's testimonial.
Yes. So if we do another one, I'll show it to you, or I'll just email it to you. And then we had this man who was bringing Mel's father, who has a son with a DNA disease, a rare DNA disease. And the boy was 13 years old, living in a 7-year-old body. He hadn't grown or gained weight in years. And he was very, very tired all the time. He would just sleep till 12 o'clock and still be tired. And this man brought Mel's father and his son every Wednesday night, almost every Wednesday night, for February, March, April, May, June, almost 5 months. And we had a video testimony of this man talking about his son, and everybody was crying. This boy had not done anything but the EE system from the time for the last year. And this boy grew 4 inches, gained 10 pounds. I'm spoiling the video, gained 10 pounds and had all this energy from sleeping there, again, from being committed. And we were all crying. And the same night, we got the testimony about Mel's father doing well, and the 2 people with cancer whose tumors had shrunk in half. All of that in one night. We walked out of there so high. Like, it was just an amazing, because we didn't even know that these 2 people with cancer had recently had tests done, and it was showing that their tumors had shrunk in half. So like, we were all like surprised by all of this. So that is the power of the energy. I love that you said have the intention. I love that you said that. People should go in there with the intention as well. And Steve, you froze.
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
I froze now.
No, you're good. You're good now. So again, if anybody's interested in purchasing, go to plasmamedbed.com. It's $28,888 with Steve's coupon plus shipping. And we do ship out of the United States if people are interested. If you can't afford it, if you just want to visit a center, you can email me at the Boundless Love and Light email. Go to my website and email me, and I'll direct you on where you can go. Again, there's not a lot of places in the United States, and there's only 3 of us that have both technologies, which obviously I think is the most ideal way to go. But if you can't, there is definitely one in Connecticut. I think there's one in Dallas. There's a few in California. So that I know off the top of my head. Okay.
Well, yeah, and I'll have all this information in the show notes, folks, so that if you're not able to write this down or can't remember, don't worry, I'll have all this in the show notes. But man, Maria, this is just, this excites me. I got to do something to get that plasma stuff out here in Utah where I'm at, because so many people need help. Frankly, I need some help, so I'm anxious to get involved and see what I can do to help myself. But also, I say it a million times on this podcast and my other podcasts is, what more fulfilling is there in our lives than helping somebody else? There's nothing. There's no amount of money that has made me happier or feel better than want to make a difference in someone's life, and that's what it's all about. We're brothers and sisters. We need to start acting like it. We need more love, more light, in this world, not just America, this whole planet. And the power of what we could do is incredible. We probably don't even understand, can't even comprehend it, So
I agree. We're starting to create the new earth.
Yeah.
And we need more and more of us to get on board on that journey. And every truth podcaster is on that journey and helping to make a difference in the world. And every energy healing center is on that journey, so it's, I just recently discovered another journey where people can where we can create a new earth financially. So I got involved in that. So if you ever want to do a podcast on that, it's like, okay, let's do this. Let's just create the new earth, love and light and health and community, and we all helping each other.
That's it right there. Life's tough enough, overall. So, people got to get out of this mindset of scarcity and competition and all that, and understand that working together, helping each other is the only way. It is the way, and most people have good hearts. There's a few bad apples out there besides the dark ones that we're kind of fighting against. But, so much can be done if we just come together and realize that, hey, help each other and don't be afraid to ask for help. I think that's one of the things that really, got me for a long time in my life. Pride's a son of a gun. And why not ask for help? When somebody's already experienced or gotten to a place that you're looking to get, the easiest way to get there is find someone that's gotten there or achieved or improved their health, find out how they did it and take the shortcut because of what they can help you learn so much quicker. So this has been great, man. I really appreciate it, Maria. I'd love to have you back and get into more of this and bring the inventor on and talk with him as well. But yeah, this is fantastic. So thanks for taking the time and have a great weekend. I look forward to staying in touch.
Okay, thank you. Thanks for your time. Thank you to your audience.
You bet. My pleasure. Talk to you later.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, and I'm here to tell you about my new product from MyPillow. Towels that actually work. Watch this absorbency test. Here's another towel that we randomly went out and bought. Here's one of my towels with the nice design. I don't know if you can see this, but you could line a swimming pool with this. This is crazy. Get rid of it. Towels that actually work.
The new MyPillow towels are exclusively made with 100% USA combed cotton with proprietary technology and with maximum absorbency. They dry you faster and are guaranteed to work.
I'm interrupting this commercial right now. Retailers have canceled MyPillow. And to thank you for all your support, I'm going to pass the savings directly on to you. Go to MyPillow.com to get deep discounts on all MyPillow products. For example, you get my dog beds for as low as $19.99. Or for a limited time, you can get my 6-piece towel sets, regularly $109.99, now only $39.99. The lowest price ever with your promo code.